people. You've got Sammy here, and today we're going to be completing the buttons and bows square as part of our 365 Granny Square a Day Crochet Along project. So I'm just doing a chain of 4 here. Now the 3 chains are going to serve as our first double crochet, and then I'm going to work into the 4th chain from the hook, so the first one we did, and I'm going to put 11 more double crochet in there. So with that starting chain, at the end of this round we will have 12 double crochets forming the center of our square. I'll let you guys work the remainder of those double crochets, joining with a slip stitch into the 4th chain of the beginning chain 4 that we did, and I'll meet you back here ready to do the second round. See you soon, guys. Ready for round 2. So we've got our 12 double crochets for round 1. Going to chain 3 from the slip stitch. That'll count as our first double crochet, and I'm going to pop a double crochet into the same stitch. I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around. So I'm going to pop a double crochet into the next stitch, I'm going to chain 12, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that last double crochet we made. And then I'm going to do the same again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then slip stitch into the top of the last double crochet. So those 2 chains of 12 are both sitting in the top of the single double crochet that we put there. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet into the next stitch. 1, and 2, chain 3, pop 2 double crochet into the next stitch, oh sorry, having a little yarn tangle there, so chain 3, then 2 double crochet into the next stitch, and then we begin again. So we're popping a double crochet into the next stitch, just one by itself, and then doing our chains again. So if you want to follow along with the video, go back around 3 minutes, but you can see the chain of 3 there between the double crochets will be our corner, and we're going to have these 12 chain loops on each side. So follow the exact same pattern. We're going to join with a slip stitch into the 3rd loop of the chain 3 that serves as our first double crochet, and then we can move on to round 3. See you soon. Right. So we're looking a little funny with those big long chains out there. Going to continue from where we've done our slip stitch to join round 2 together. I'm going to chain 3, which will serve as the first double crochet, and I'm going to pop a double crochet into the next stitch. Now I'm going to push those chains forward because we're going to be working behind them, so they'll sit on the front of the square. We'll work them in a bit later. Now we're going to repeat this next part all the way around back to the beginning. So I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch behind the bow. Just making sure I've got the right one. There. Shall be this one. Keeping the bow in front, I'm going to double crochet into the next 2 double crochet. A little bit fiddly because they are large chains, they can get in the way a little. So one in there, one in the next one, and that brings us to the chain 3 space that is the corner. So into that chain 3 space, we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 3, and another 2 double crochet. So we've still got a nice corner happening there. From there we're going to double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So these are the 2 double crochet that we did at the beginning. This one would have been a chain 3 and this would have been a double crochet. So we're going to follow that exact same pattern all the way back around to the beginning. So a double crochet into the next stitch, then one into the stitch behind the chains, and the next 2. So it's exactly the same all the way back around. We'll slip stitch back into the beginning. If you want to follow along with the video, go back around 3 minutes. Otherwise, continue that pattern. I'll meet you back here ready to do round 4. Okay, so I'm finished round 3. I just wanted to show you how we can start round 4. So I'm going to turn my work and then I'm going to slip stitch across to the corner chain space. So into the next 2 stitches with a slip stitch, I'm going to slip stitch into the corner chain space. From there we'll chain 3, which counts as the first double crochet, pop a second double crochet into that chain space, chain a 3, and another 2 double crochet. Now our corner's finished, we're going to start working this side. So I'll run you through the first one to the next corner and then we're following the exact same pattern all the way back to the beginning. So I'm going to pop a double crochet into the next stitch. Because we've turned our work, they'll sort of be sitting on the other side rather than underneath stitches. They're sitting on the left side. So double crochet in the next stitch, a double crochet in the next 12, excuse me. Double crochet into the next one, but as we come through the back, we're going to catch the first chain 12 loop in the last part of the double crochet. Pull that over. So I didn't actually go into one of the chains, I just went through the middle of that loop so it's sitting across to the side. I'm going to double crochet into the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to double crochet into the next stitch, but we're going to grab that loop in our double crochet. You want it there, go under that way. So going through the loop, pulling that up, completing our double crochet. So not actually through stitches, just going around the actual chains so that as we work up we can attach those through those loops and get them sitting properly on the square. And we're going to pop a double crochet into the next and final stitch in that side. So we're back to a corner chain space, which is where we started our video. So 2 double crochet, a chain of 3 and 2 double crochet in the corner. If you want to follow along with the video, go back just under 4 minutes. Otherwise, repeat that stitch pattern, remembering to pick those chains up and start anchoring them down. And I will meet you back here ready for round 5. Thanks guys. Ready for round 5. Nearly finished this gorgeous little square. I'm just going to slip stitch into the chain space. And I'm going to chain 3. And turn my work. Pull that a little too tightly. I want that to sit on the other side of that chain space so we can work back this way. So I'm going to pop another double crochet in there. Chain of 3. And another 2 double crochet. And we're going to double crochet into the next 6 stitches. Be a little tight when you've slipped popped a slip stitch through there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to put a popcorn stitch into the next stitch. So it'll line up with the center of our little bows. So we're going to go in, we're going to put 5 double crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull up that loop, go into the first one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the loop of the first one, pick up the loop we dropped, pull it back through, and chain 1 to secure it. There we go. So there's our first popcorn stitch. Then we're going to pop a double crochet into the next stitch. The next 6 stitches. Sorry. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that gets us to the next corner chain space. So 2 double crochet, a chain of 3 and 2 double crochet. I'm just going to straighten this out a little bit. So it's a bit hard to see. Let's see if you can see the 2 chains sitting there and a popcorn stitch sitting above. It really is a very pretty little square. I'll let you guys finish off the last 3 and I'll meet you back here so we can do our final round. Okay, it's a bit hard to see the detail on this one. I think even you can see the little chains there and the popcorn stitches. You can see the texture to the square. It really is quite beautiful. So we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. And then into the chain space. I'm going to do 4 single crochet into the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this round is really just to firm things up and get the square to size. So if your square is looking a little bit small, change your single crochets for a half double or a double crochet, whatever you need to get your square to the right size for you. If you want to stick with the singles, you can always add extra rows as well. So 4 single crochet into the chain 3 space, and then we're just going to work a single crochet into each stitch down the side. So it's super simple to finish off. It firms up the square, which isn't really very loose anyway, and gets everything ready for blocking and joining. Thank you so much for joining me today. I cannot wait to see your squares. I hope you've all enjoyed this one as much as I have. Until next time, happy hooking!